Have you ever gotten lost in the weeds? Like you've set up your month, you've set up your quarters, you know where you're going, but then like when it comes to the daily, it's like, oh my God, I don't even know who's coming or what's happening and how do I balance? Listen, the reason this planner was created was because you should be able to live that life and this life and make them cohesive. It should not be this battle of family time and home time and career time. You're going to have to make sacrifices in both places to live the life you choose to live. You get to choose what those sacrifices are. But if you want to be able to have perfect days where you walk out high energy, high money, high excitement, you have to plan them more often. And while I often talk about high money and high excitement, please understand that part of the reason I'm so passionate about that is I happen to know that this is what lets you go live that. So while we're talking about living that, I want to talk a little bit about where you spend your time. I don't care if you're working 1 day a week, if you're working 5 days a week, as long as you're creating this where you can show up and be 100% for your people, then you are going to live a fulfilling life and you're going to always leave work feeling like you're on top of it. Now I know your little voice is telling you, but I can't always show up that way. That's okay. But if your expectation is that you show up that way more often than not, then the days that are harder, that will be outliers instead of normal. And I think that is something that is hard for us to reframe. All right, so you have your calculator out now. I want you to look at, oh, by the way, before I go into this, this is for my tattoo artists. This is for my yoga teachers. You guys have a little bit more in common because how many people you have in upgrades are going to be a little bit different than our counterparts like massage and hair. So pull out your calculator. Let's say you work 3 days a week and you're working 7-hour shifts. So 7 times 3, you work 21 hours a week, okay? Then you're going to multiply 7 times 24, because that's how many hours are in a week, and you're going to get 168. And then let's say you sleep 7 hours a night average. So 7 times 7 is 49. So you sleep 49 hours a week. So you're going to take 168 and you're minus 49. You should have 119. Excellent. And then you're going to take the amount of hours you work and divide it by 119. So if you're working 21 hours divided by 119, that means 17%, well, 17.6. So 18% of your week is spent on your career. What do you need to do in that life to make your 18% of your week 100% focused? Because if you're not 100% focused here, I guarantee you're not 100% focused there. And so now you're starting to fracture in the places rather than allowing yourself to be where you are. So what do you need to do in this perfect day planner to make a cohesion, to make a harmony between the two spaces? So let's say your daily goal is, you can use S for students or S for services. I'm going to say students or clients because I think sometimes with tattoo and with yoga, it's actually easier just to count how many people we've had come in rather than always having a financial dollar amount. So with daily, let's say your goal is to have 6 students per day. And we'll talk about retail and upgrades later. You'll also notice, just in case you forget how to fill this out, that in the very bottom, it tells you plan your day by filling your personal agenda. That's what you're going to do first. Then you're going to fill in your guests and clients and class names, then the services. Oftentimes, I put the services on my love notes. I don't care if I don't know what they're up to. I'm going to make a suggestion so that our sales desk can take care of them on the flip side. I'll make another video for that. At the end of the day, you're going to circle the time slot of the people that have agreed to come back and see you again, and then you're going to fill in the box on the right with your money. So I oftentimes have days, remember, we're only here 18% of the week if we're here 3 days a week. So I might write in my day with a bunch of SFs and money of the people so that I can see that I have a balance. I want to be able to look directly at my day and see what I'm doing and where I'm spending my time. Now, to be honest, we talk about balance, but I prefer harmony because there's going to be days that I am high money, and then there's going to be days I'm high soul fuel. Whatever feels good to you, this is a great way to start looking at your time audits. So let's say this is my wake up, meditate, and brekkie. Let's say this is my kid to school. And this is gym time. I do a lot of time blocks so that I can see my day a little bit easier. Now, I happen to know that these are all going to be soul fuel things. These are things that allow me to live a high energy and live the life that I want. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill them in as soul fuel. Let's say I have a 10 a.m. Chakra class. Listen, I'm making these classes up. Other people teach them. I'm just using the names. And that is a 90-minute class. So that's going to take me until 11. When this includes my break and my cleanup time between the two. And then let's say I have a soul flow, and that's a 1-hour class, but I need that extra 30 minutes afterwards for cleanup. So now I've planned my 2 classes. Oh, and I've got a one-on-one that's going to come in at 2 o'clock. Oh, I didn't mean to make that a box. Sorry. Let's say their name is Jeff. Jeff is coming in for yoga one-on-one session. And then after work, I'm going for a hike with my friends. And let's say my spouse is taking me to dinner. And don't forget, when you planned your day earlier, you decided what time you were going to bed. So we're going to write that in. Let's say you're an early riser, so you like to go to bed at 8 o'clock. And you're just going to fill it in like so. So now you know what your day looks like. So now we're going to make some plans. If my goal is 6 students for this yoga class, then I'm going to look at how many people I have. Now, let's say I have 2 people in this class and I have 3 people in this class. So realistically, I only need to find 1 more person to hit my 6. You can post on social media. You can reach out to somebody you haven't seen in a while. Look at your teammates. Who haven't you invited from your team in a long time? Sometimes we forget that we have to invite people several times before they're able to say yes. And at the end of the day, your job is to make options, not to force people to say yes or no. So upgrades planned. I'm going to social media, my 1 spot. And that's it. I've planned my day. I know what's happening. And now I'm just going to go live it. If I haven't mentioned it, this lives at home. Once I plan this, I leave it at home. I might take a photo of it so that when I go to work, I know what I'm doing and I'm not having to redo work, right? So I hope that's helpful. This was a quick view on the yoga classes. Now, let's talk about what would it look like if it was tattoos. I don't know why this is so slow on this, but it sure is. So let's say you start at 10 and you are scheduled to start with your art and drawing time from 10 to noon. And we'll just use Jeff's name again because that seems like a good idea. And Jeff is a solid 4-hour tattoo. So you've hit your goal because you've got a 4-hour tattoo. Kudos on you. So let's say your goal was service of 400 for 4 hours. Let's say your daily goal is 400. You're already scheduled 400. So now you know you're just going to rock and roll into your day. Upgrades might be adding artwork or adding, I've lost my words, guys. Oh, the numbing cream. So we might say upgrades plan, $26. Listen, $26 might not seem a lot. 1 additional person for your yoga class might not seem a lot. But here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're changing 1 day at a time, and then you add that up over 50 weeks, that's a whole different story. Let's just math that real quick, right? So what is 50 times 26? That's $1,300 that you didn't start out the year with. And that's $700 in your pocket at the end of the year without having to do a single more bit of work. And you're just showing up to take care of your people. The more you show up to serve, the more that you offer to take care of people, the more that you will hear yes. Now, my last tidbit, the more you hear no, the more you're doing something right. I'm Elizabeth Struess, and I can't wait to see how this serves you. Drop below something you'd like to learn more about in setting up your day as a yoga teacher or a tattoo artist.